Ah, what a beautiful day in the 16th century Ottoman-ruled Balkans. I sure hope a life of a certain 10-year-old Christian boy won't get flipped upside down, and his identity won't get stripped from him, making him the ultimate weapon of the Sultan. Anyway, you wake up in the house, the same one you have been living in for the last 10 years of your life. You go greet your parents and siblings, and after getting a quick bite to eat, off you go to the fields with the rest of your family. Typical late medieval stuff. While plowing the fields, you notice a group of scary-looking men coming into your village. They speak a few words in a language you do not understand yet, and before you notice, you and other boys between the age of 8 and 12 are lined up in the village center ready to be inspected. You look at your disturbed parents, and you instantly know that nothing good will happen. You see, what these men came here to do is to collect what is called a blood tax, in a form of promising, able-bodied Christian boys to be forcibly recruited into the service of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, a man of whom you have not heard about, but will become his property soon enough. Unfortunately for you, you fit the criteria the best, so you get taken by the Ottoman officials. The child levy, as it was also called, had its limits, however. So your younger siblings and other boys are spared your fate, at least for now. You don't understand it yet, but your life is no longer yours as of this moment. So, what just happened? It's the early 16th century. The Ottoman Empire is at its peak, spanning from Hungary to Mecca, Algeria to the Caspian Sea. The Sultan rules over tens of millions, and to keep his power stable, he needs soldiers who are loyal only to him. Enter you. One of the Sultan's newest acquisitions through the blood tax, a practice where Christian boys from the Balkans and Anatolia are taken from their families, converted to Islam, and molded into elite warriors, or sometimes imperial administrators. So, you get taken in, what now? You are being adopted by a foster family, silly. First, you are given a new Muslim name. Your Christian identity is gone, so you best forget it quick, or at least be smart enough to keep it to yourself. You're not allowed to speak your mother tongue anymore, and your foster family teaches you the Turkish language and Ottoman and Muslim customs in an attempt to remake you. Hard physical labor on the Anatolian fields strengthens your body, and after around 5 or 6 years of indoctrination and physical training, you are sent to Constantinople for some more hard labor. What you do in Constantinople is entirely up to what the Sultan needs, but usually before proper military training, you acquire a specialization such as administration, trade, or construction. The jobs you do can vary in this period of your life. Next comes the military training. Marksmanship and formation fighting are the foundation. But based on your individual talents, you're placed into specialized groups under the guidance of veteran instructors. Some focus on engineering or artillery, others on craftsmanship, archery, religious duties, or administration. For years, you live apart from ordinary imperial life in an isolated Janissary-only complex in Constantinople. As a Janissary in training, you're forbidden from drinking, gambling, or pursuing romance. Celibacy is strictly enforced. Obedience to the Sultan and loyalty to your fellow Janissaries are the values drilled into you daily. By the time boot camp ends, you're sharper in every way, your body hardened, your mind disciplined. You've been educated by the Empire's finest and forged by its harshest. You carry that with you like armor. Not every boy made it through, but you did, and that's what matters. You're stationed in Constantinople now, barracked near Topkapi Palace. The city is overwhelming, but after some time, it becomes familiar. Your old life is now behind you. You're a Janissary now, and that means you now command respect and possess a level of authority over your inferiors. You get new clothes, boots, a fancy hat, and rations, lots of them. Your daily meals are hearty: lentils, lamb, rice, and flatbread. You eat better than most villagers. Despite technically being Sultan's property, you even get a stipend that earns you a decent living, especially since you are exempt from taxes. Having these privileges doesn't mean you just linger about. The Janissaries were famous for their undying loyalty, unbreakable morale, and skill in battle. Not many were able to face them and come out victorious. Training was important, as those that showed cowardice were put to death, as they have shamed the Janissary Corps. The corps was organized into orta, the Ottoman equivalent of a Western battalion. Under Suleiman, there were about 165 orta, each averaging 100 to 200 men, though these numbers fluctuated throughout his reign. While the Sultan was the nominal commander of the entire force, in practice the corps was led by the Aga of the Janissaries, appointed directly by the Sultan. The orta were grouped into 3 regiments: the Palace Guard, responsible for protecting the Sultan, the imperial land, and garrisoning cities; the Reserve and Recruits, consisting of trainees and reserve units; the Community, the largest division, forming the bulk of the infantry, and typically the first to deploy in a campaign. Each orta was commanded by a Korbasi, literally master of the soup. The title reflected the symbolic importance of the communal cauldron, which, much like a Western military standard, was the heart and pride of the unit. Over the course of your career, you might rise through the Janissary ranks. Serving the Sultan directly as part of his personal guard was considered the highest honor, although those selected for this path were usually chosen early during training. As a member of the core fighting force, you could aspire to become a Korbasi or take on important roles within your orta, such as quartermaster or barracks keeper. Promotion usually required proving yourself, most often through skill and bravery in battle, but a noteworthy display of competence in daily duties could also earn you greater responsibility. Years pass. Your mustache thickens, your posture hardens, and your skills grow sharper. You have watched trembling recruits arrive, seen them age into veterans, or fall before their time. By the late 16th century, the corps begins to change. Rules grow more flexible, and future generations of Janissaries are allowed to marry, own land and businesses, and live outside the barracks. Discipline fades. New recruits are no longer taken strictly through the blood tax, and the sons of veteran Janissaries are admitted. Many are born into privilege rather than forged by hardship. Some grow soft, others grow corrupt. With years of service behind you, your influence grows, and so does that of your companions. As the voice of the Janissaries carries more weight within the empire, tensions rise between the corps and future sultans. Taxes are resisted, restrictions lifted, and privileges granted. The alternative is rebellion, and more than one sultan chooses to appease the corps rather than face their wrath. You retire in peace, wealthy from your pension and with many honors to show for your career. Yet your thoughts sometimes drift to your hometown and the parents you have not seen in decades. They are likely gone. Would they even recognize you now? You wonder what life might have been had you never been taken. Would it have been better or worse? You can barely remember it well enough to say. The truth is that you were once the Sultan's chosen, the blade he wielded against his enemies. Whether the empire remembers your victories or not, you know you gave it your best. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and made it to the end, comment "I love lentils" and let me know what you'd want to see next. Take care and see you next time.